Welcome, 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 Bitcoin. Today on a Friday, thanks God it's Friday. It was a good week for the Bitcoin and, by the way, for the stock market as well. As you know, we had on Wednesday the meeting from the Federal Reserve, and that was good. No increase in rate hikes. It was not hawkish what Jerome Powell said, and for this reason, the market went up and Bitcoin stays over 34,000, quite stable. We will look into this later. Well, today we have really something new. Two topics. The one thing is related to Switzerland, one of our biggest banks. And the other thing is related to a new study we have been working on in the last 2 months. The relation between Bitcoin mining, energy consumption, and climate change. Very interesting. So make sure, stay tuned up until the end of the video. Well, and don't forget, if you like this content, subscribe the channel. You will not miss any further video. And if you like it, the content, give us a thumb up. That's also good. So I would say we start and check, like always, first of all, the overall market. Very green today. All green. Yeah, we had a rally. This is the S&P 500, which started immediately already on Thursday, so yesterday. As I just said, it was not hawkish. The outlook was not hawkish. And so we really see a relief. Well, on the other hand side, technically speaking, we were totally oversold, and so a technical reaction had to come. Important, the U.S. bond yields, 5%, on 2 years still 5%, but the 10 years went drastically down to 4.7. We were over 5. This is very good. So people start not only to buy stocks, they also start to buy bonds, and this is also important for the banks because they sit on these huge losses. 50% of the bonds have been sort of down in value, which is very bad for them. Well, we quickly check what happened last night in the Far East. Hong Kong in the green, Japan in the green, and China in the green, quite heavily in the green. That's good. This is a following reaction what happened yesterday in the United States. Quick check, gold, US dollar. Still quite a strange situation. Gold really up, around about $2,000. And the dollar still very strong. It shows, this is mainly related, I think, to Israel and all the problems there and the war. So there is still a lot of fear in the market. So we quickly check now the rate hike expectations. There is one meeting missing for this year, taking place December 13. And this is a very clear picture, 90% of the market believes no increase in rate hikes. Another thing is, it looks like that the market believes in the moment that by June we will see for the first time a decrease in rate hikes. About 40% believes that. And by the end of the year, when we jump into November, about 31% believes that we will go down to 4.5%. So that means from today up until the end of 24, the market believes 0.5% reduction in rate hikes. Okay, we quickly check the fear and greed. Interesting, as we just went on the side, it jumped to 40%. Yeah, well, we were deep in the extreme. Now it's 39 again. This is live, by the way. Very nice. But we are still in the fear zone. We quickly check the underlying aspects, market momentum. The S&P 500 is just about to recover to 125 days moving average. That's good. But it's still under. This is why it's fear. The price strength, stock price strength is really still very bad. The same with the pref. Another thing is the put-call ratio. It's still a shorted market. This is something that you have to see, and the market volatility is getting better. We were over 20%, and we are now on the direction to 15%. But all in all, we are still in the fear zone. This is something, although we see this rally. Well, and this is the point that we come to the Bitcoin. When we do a video now, 34,546. I opened the Bitcoin today on a weekly basis, so every candle is a week. And very interesting is that, well, we don't know how it's going to close today because today is Friday. But the 2 weeks before, we closed green, as you can see here. This is a very, very bullish sign, meaning there's a lot of consistency in the price in the moment. And we are going not sidewise. I mean, we saw this increase, but it's really very bullish to see. Well, and this reflects obviously to the market capitalization and gold on one with 13 trillion, but Bitcoin 669 billions on 12, just after Tesla. Very good. Okay, so halving clock, 166 days we have to wait. There's a slight change in the moment. It's going to take place April 13. So, and now we come to one of the two topics we have today. Top Swiss bank launches Bitcoin in EVA trading with SEBA. Now, this is really, really something because, as you know, Switzerland is quite conservative, but the Switzerland St. Gallen Kantonalbank, one of the largest banks in the country, is moving into cryptocurrency by introducing Bitcoin and EVA trading to its customers. This is a huge thing because that means up until now, yeah, I mean, everybody has the problem still in Germany, by the way, that you cannot go to your bank, to the Sparkasse or the Volksbank or the Deutsche Bank and can say, well, I want to buy Bitcoin. You still have to go to exchanges. In Germany, at least, we have Stuttgarter Börse. That's quite good, with Bison app and stuff like this. But the Swiss is really going ahead, and that shows how much the Bitcoin arrived the traditional financial market, and I think this is quite interesting. So we had a good week. Actually, for the Bitcoin, we had 3 good weeks, bear in mind. I think it's 3 weeks ago that we stayed on about $28,000. Today we are over $34,000. This is very good. So we saw an increase in Bitcoin in the last 2 weeks with over 22%. Bitcoin is the best performing asset in 2023 with over 100%. No other asset performed like the Bitcoin. And well, now it's time to check the data. And here what is still very important is the spot ETF approval timeline. Nothing has changed. The SEC has to make a decision by latest January 10 in the case of ARK. All the others will follow in March, the BlackRock, Bitwise, VanEck, WisdomTree, Invesco, Fidelity, and Valkyrie. So it's hard to believe that they make a decision just for ARK. First movers make the money. So if they make a decision, it will be either all the applications will be approved or none. It's very unlikely none. And bear in mind, this is deadline. This can happen in 23 years. It's not necessary that we wait up until January, really important. Okay, we check the fear and greed. First of all, the overall fear and greed, it's 65 for the cryptos. And here we have our own since about a couple of weeks, just related to the Bitcoin. And as you can see, it's roughly 70% in the greed zone. People are really positive when it comes to Bitcoin. Well, on a yearly base, very nice increase, as I just said, more than 100% since the bottom in November 22, coming from 15.5 to nearly 35, which is $20,000, quite good. We quickly check the heat map. It's a mixed picture today. BTC is slightly and ETH a little bit in the red, the rest in the green, but not much is happening. Important is the market dominance from Bitcoin close to 54%. This is very good. And as you can see on the chart, it's consistently going up, really strong. The open interest is also going up. The betting market on number one is total is about 15 billion in the moment. and still Binance is on 1, and CMA is on 2. Chicago Mercantile Exchange, a lot of people don't know that. This is the United States itself, and Bybit, OKX, and Derebit. Well, for this reason, we check the liquidations, because future market means people bet on long or short. We saw heavy short liquidations, as you can see with the red bars here. But people get a bit scared about doing this, so we don't see so much liquidations anymore. But all in all, the market, when you look at the ratio here, is still very much on the short side. This is still a high possibility when good news come in, that we see a squeeze on the short side. The Bitcoin loaded addresses, we are going sideways with about 49 million. Balance on exchanges, the trend has not changed. There are only 2.3 million available for trade on exchanges, bear in mind. Theoretically, we are 19.5 million on the market, but this is not true. 20% are lost, so it's only 15 million. And from these 15 million, 2.3 are available. Why is this? The rest is being held on cold wallets from the whales, and they are not interested in selling, so we sit and wait as the price develops. Hash rate is going up. We are close to 500 million extra hashes. Competition very strong. And here we come to the Bitcoin production cost, and this is our second topic of the day. We just will look into it. Here we see the price in the moment. It's about $17,000 to produce 1 Bitcoin. And what is production cost for Bitcoin? It's hardware, it's people, but mainly it's energy. So, and for this reason, we present today for the first time something new. If you're interested in this, Bitcoin mining and energy consumption statistic for 2023, you need to know. So you can go on our website and you can check this report. Today we present it for the first time in English. On Tuesday, when we do the German video, we will present it in German. What did we do? For 2 months, we really looked into all the data. This is a huge report consisting of 23 pages. We cannot go in all to these pages. It's basically that we checked what is the situation with the mining industry in relation to the electricity consumption and obviously the environment. This is what is so important, because there is a lot of talk that Bitcoin is not good for the environment. So the question is how much green energy goes into the mining. What you see here is there are 26 mining companies in the United States we were able to identify. And about 38% of the mining in the world, which is the highest number, is taking place in the United States. This is very important to know. And here we come to climate change versus Bitcoin mining and energy consumption. And not by going in all to detail, we go to the topic to counter the adverse effects of Bitcoin mining. The Bitcoin Mining Council, BMC, a global forum consisting of mining companies representing about 48% of the global Bitcoin mining network, revealed that renewable energy sources account for 59% of electricity used by Bitcoin mining in operation in Q4 22. Bear in mind, now we have 23. And when you go into the report, you will see that by today, the part of renewable energy is about 65%. 2/3 of electricity consumption comes from renewable energy. And one thing what is very important about renewable energy, which obviously has no negative effect on the climate, is that the big miners have contracts with electricity supplying companies. And so if there is too much electricity in the network produced from the renewable part, they buy this more or less, they pay for this, and if there is not enough, then they just drive down their service. So the Bitcoin miners are a huge factor in stabilizing the electricity network, meanwhile, in parts of the United States. So, as I just said, go on our website, amend-finance.de, and you can read the whole report. It's really interesting. It's a bit to read, But it's, I believe, for the first time, really something serious, because there's a lot of shit talk going around what's going, which is not reality. Okay, we check the aggregated trade volume. It's going up. This is very important, because getting a new bull run, we have to get an increase in volume. And now we come to our momentum indicators. I know you guys are always very interested, because this is what really gives an idea about the future will be. Bollinger Bands getting closer, so tension comes into the market regarding to the price, but the important graph is the graph in the middle. And as you can see here, the MACD, we had this golden cross to the upside, this bullish crossover, and we have two green bars. And when you go back in history, after the last halving, or before the last halving, we didn't have this. So this is really bullish. So what we can say today from this data, the bull run started. The bull run started earlier than with the last cycle, because here, when you go on the date, you see it was in 2020, in October 2020. So after the halving, we saw the golden cross to the upside. And this is now 1 year before what you see. This is, as you know, the halving is going to take place in April. So maybe we see crazy prices from the Bitcoin, because at least this indicator says, well, this could happen. Another thing is the RSI on a monthly basis. You know, every bar is a month here. This is long term. We are not oversold. We are not overbought. We are in the region of about 55%. That's good. We check the same thing on a daily base. And yeah, it's the same thing. We have on the MACD, a long uptrend. We are really in the green zone. And it's the same with the RSI. Yes, we are, on the other hand, very much sort of overbought in the moment. But this all looks really good. On the other hand side, our short-term indicator says there is a risk in the moment that we see a consolidation to 32. Now we come to the first prediction model. We have two of them, and we are really proud to have. And I mean, we started to work on them 18 months ago. This is a long time, and which was before the bottom with FTX. And this model is so valuable. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's really valid. In the moment, the price is about $5,000 higher than our model. So we are really right in the middle of a range of a model. This model says to the halving, we will see about $41,000. The second model says more or less the same, but in the end, maybe $44,000. So here we come now to Wyckoff. Not often we talk about Wyckoff because it was a bit boring. We had not enough volume, and Wyckoff is a momentum indicator. And it helps only in looking into the future if volume comes in. And so phase A, B, C, D is finished. And we are very close to come into phase E. And this indicator says $61,000. It's not a timing indicator. It doesn't say when this is going to happen. But it looks like in the direction of halving, probably right after or something like that. So when you look at the three models we have this 41, we have this 45, and we have the 60. You can choose yourself now what you believe. The interesting thing is, if you're interested in Wyckoff, again, go on our website, because we have a button. We explain this Wyckoff model. This is more than 100 years old. It has nothing to do with the Bitcoin. It's a basic model about accumulation of assets and distribution of assets because of big players in the market. In Bitcoin, they are called whales. But well, you have the same thing on the stock market. It's very interesting. Check it out. Okay, Fibonacci, that is also something which is looking very nice. We went straight up from the 50, the 61.8 to the 76.4. We are stable in there, also bullish. Well, and another thing, we saw the golden cross 50 to 200 a couple of days ago. Really, really, really good, because this is also a strong indicator when the 50 days goes through. Well, everything is bullish in the moment. This is what we can say. We quickly check the ribbons. You know, we have the 7 ribbons for 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 124, and 200 days. Well, this indicator is for people who want to trade. If you're a long-term investor, It's not interesting, like we are long-term investors. But some people like to trade, and here this is very helpful, because the theory of this model says if you're above all the 7 ribbons, you should wait. You should not buy. You should wait up until the price dives in to the EMAs, and the deeper the better. So below all the 7 is the ultimate time to buy. This is why this indicator goes up to 7, but this is for short term. Okay, finally, the logarithm regression model. You see from the beginning of Bitcoin in 2009, what happened to the Bitcoin. Bitcoin has 4-year cycles with tops and bottoms. I always repeat myself. Again, go on the site, check it by yourself. We are in the end of a cycle. And the nice thing about this model is, because Bitcoin follows this logarithm regression, and this gives the possibility to really look into the future up until 2030. This is really nice. And here you can play around and check out the upper side, the middle side, and the low side, so you can check out the average. What could happen to the Bitcoin? So here, finally, our prediction. How does it look like in the moment because of the data and the price? As I just said, April halving looks like 45, maybe 50, slightly more than about 2-3 weeks ago. It depends very much. When is approval coming? Isn't approval coming related to spot ETFs? This is certainly a driving force, but it's hard to believe that this doesn't come. So anyway, we wish you a great weekend. We are back on Tuesday in German, and it would be great to see you again. Thanks, and bye-bye.